Greetings, everybody. This is Rap SA, and this is our first episode of this podcast. My name is Sbo, and
I'm Mobile.
Right, and like I said, this is our first episode of this podcast. We are joining the podcasting crew, and as we kick off our conversation today, or as we start this journey of podcasting, we thought maybe we should talk about something that we usually talk about, right? Mm-hmm. And that is the youth of South Africa. So we have like different points or few points that we would like to discuss, that we are going to discuss. Maybe we can disagree on some part, maybe we're going to agree, but the hope is that we can have productive conversation that might help someone, maybe that might make someone see things in a different way. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can form a conversation through comments. So guys, do not forget to comment and share your views. That would be great to create a community and have this kind of conversation. So, let me get into it. We are speaking about the youth of South Africa. And the first question that I have is there a problem about the youth of South Africa?
I would say yes. I think there is a problem with the youth of South Africa. And amongst one of those list of problems, I would say laziness.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I went straight for the neck, yes.
Right,
so
straight
I feel like the youth in South Africa, we are lazy. We can talk about like later maybe what has birthed those characteristics or those problems. But we are lazy. I think there's no sense of individual identity, individuality, and sense of confidence and being comfortable.
And just like a drive overall to do something for yourself.
Yes. So lazy, no drive, a lack of individuality. Yes, for now, I think, yeah.
Right, so very bold. Those are big statements. So maybe in order to make sense of these big statements, I guess maybe we can try to understand what is the problem, if there is a problem. Okay. Or so before we ask, is there a problem about the youth of South Africa? What is a problematic youth, and what is the youth that's ideally doing well? How do we separate to how do we define?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I think a problematic youth for me is a group of people that I would describe as just being stagnant. Mm-hmm. No sense of motivation, no sense of growth and uplifting oneself or even each other. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a problematic youth, because that will be automatically a problematic, I'll say, older generation.
Yeah.
So if there's no sense of drive and there's no sense of, working and, working together and working on yourself, that means you're going to breed the following generation that doesn't have those skills as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a problematic
youth. Yeah.
And then a non-problematic youth would be exactly the opposite. The opposite of that. So people with innovation, people with drive, people who can seek and create opportunities.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you think? Do you think the youth has there's a problem with the youth in our country, and what are those problems?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you just went right there into the laziness. I think definitely there's a problem. I can't say really where did it start or where does it begin. I have an idea, but I am not sure if I'm right. You know, if you look at the generation that gave birth to us as the youth, you look at people that are basically most of the time stuck at work, not really at home, a lot of broken families. I think that has made us, or the youth of this day, sort of have no direction, you know, because maybe we didn't get enough parenting to sort of try to find that direction, or maybe see how we can find the direction ourselves, how to form our identities individually. Like you said, like there's lack of individual identity. It's almost like if a group of people do this in SA, everybody does it.
Sheep culture.
Yeah, like I mean, of course, it's not everybody that does this. There is youth in South Africa that's doing very well, you know, creating job opportunities, business opportunities for themselves. But yeah, I think in general, the majority is quite stagnant.
Yeah.
And then you have like our political climate, which is, you know, it adds into it's like a fuel adding into the fire. It makes it very hard for young people to be able to do anything because there's no motivation. Like when you watch the news or you read the news or you just read what's going on, there's almost like a sense of there's something that's always going to demotivate you.
Yeah.
You know, they stole this much money. There's this much accidents on the road. There's this, there's that, there's this. It just...
And there's no sense of accountability, you know. We just hear problems and we don't hear solutions and have things been solved or how things are being solved. Okay, so for you, what is a progressive or non-problematic youth?
Same as you said. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Creative youth, people that are trying to work on something new, people that are innovative, trying to create business opportunities for themselves, people that are taking their education seriously, and just motivated in general. Yeah. You know, but also motivated to do positive stuff. Yes. Because I feel like part of our motivation is we're motivated to do like useless, maybe not useless, but things that are not really moving us forward. Yeah. You know, we're really motivated to have the best clothes. We're motivated to drive the nicest cars. Yes. But how do we get there? Places. You know, exactly. We're motivated to travel to nice places, but how we actually get there, I don't think we have like that kind of motivation to be able to put in the work. Yeah. So that we can get there. Yeah. And I think there's a saying, even amongst us South Africans, that we are lazy. And some African nationals, when they come to South Africa, you've heard this as well, they're like, South African people are so lazy.
They're so lazy. Yeah. There's a sense of entitlement. Yeah. I think there's a sense of entitlement that our youth is increasingly having, but it's based on nothing. Yeah. So I think that's a huge disconnect there.
Because we have nothing.
Because we have nothing.
Yeah, but we're so entitled. You think that we own stuff, important stuff. You know, we have shit that's important, but actually we don't have much. At least we have our confidence. That's I can give you that much.
We can roll with that.
We've got our confidence. It's 100%. But you know, if all that confidence is not driven to the right direction, and then there's no, you know, it doesn't give us anything. Anyway, so we could say South African youth has a problem. We agree on that one?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, and we've said, what is it that's the problem? Okay. So if the South African youth has a problem, how is it that they can fix it?
Oh.
If they want to fix it.
Yeah, if they want to fix it.
Because another thing is like when you look at the South African youth, it's almost like they've given up.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Did you see the news? Bruh. Don't tell me about the news. It's like no one is interested in things that affect them and affect what they eat.
Yeah.
You know, affect the prices of the taxes.
Very removed. Very removed from the happenings of the country. So the question was, how can the youth help?
Yeah, better themselves.
Oh, this is a loaded question because I need to better myself still.
Yeah, me too.
So
I guess everybody feels that way.
Yes. I think I would say find a passion, man. Mm-hmm. Number one, find a passion. Mm-hmm. Okay, and by saying find a passion, it doesn't mean in manja you have to go I don't know, start singing, start dancing. You know, your passion could be I don't want to be broke.
But everybody these days.
But so for what purpose?
Everybody, literally everybody wants to be an artist. I think most of the people that have computers in their homes are probably cooking some beat there, thinking they'll probably be the next Kabza or something.
Well, I mean, they could if they work hard at it. Kabza was also somewhere in his room cooking some beats at some point, I'm sure.
But then we could easily fall into the trap that most Black Americans fell into, that you basically going to see success if you're an athlete or if you're a rapper or if you're a singer.
No, but that's why I'm saying it's important to find your passion as well. Mm-hmm. Not everyone wants to go into those career, you know. So I think it's important to find your passion, because then that will be your motivation, your drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think everybody can find a passion?
I think everybody can agree that it's not nice to be hungry.
You hungry? Find a passion.
Oh my God, it's so hot in here.
Let's start there. If you're hungry, try and find a passion. That might just feed you.
Yes. Your passion will be your drive.
So the reason why I'm asking that is there is, you know, how I was making an example about the Black American, the African American, whatever they call them these days, and how they fall into the trap of, you know, maybe not a trap, but maybe the system was a trap itself. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. But if you are going to be successful, either you're an athlete, you're a rapper, or you're a singer, to get that kind of success. So, but in our context, it's different. We're not the same. We don't have the same context as African Americans. So we could say we have more opportunities to explore different things. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I was asking if everybody can have a passion is because, going back to what we were talking about, this sheep mentality, that if everybody goes this direction, if one person goes this direction, everybody follows. And so what does that do to someone that needs to find themselves and really understand who they are and understand what is it that they want to do exactly? Because I feel like that's a blockage, you know? If you follow popular culture most of the time, or if you go where everybody's going, you neglect yourself and you neglect actually exploring the things that you like about yourself and the things that you are interested in. Before you know it, it's too late.
Okay, so in aims to try to better ourselves, so we said find a passion. Mm-hmm. And you saying sometimes it's difficult, or it will be difficult to find your passion in South Africa?
Considering our South African youth, which we have already established that there's a sheep mentality.
Okay.
To follow where everybody else is going. Is there...
Mm-hmm. I guess I'm trying to connect because you were saying in Black America, the athletes and the musicians, what was that?
So for them, it's almost like it's like they know that if you want to reach a level of success, or things that you can do to reach a certain level of success are between those, either an athlete or, which in a way kind of creates this narrow-minded mentality, right? That if I don't play basketball as hard as I can, I'm not going to make pro, but also I'm not going to focus on my books. You understand what I mean? Because I have to make pro.
I understand, and I think I understand it more for like in the past, because I mean I'm not American, so I don't know what's the context manje. But also I would like to I don't know, think even for someone to feel like, okay, they need to make pro, or play in whatever the big leagues are, they would have a love for the sport.
Yeah.
So they have a passion for it. Even for them to be like that top athlete or that top musician, they have a talent and they have a passion and they worked for it, because they're not the only people. Also considering Guti, black people in America are a minority.
Yeah. Good point.
So I don't know. I don't think it's the.
Okay, so let's go back to South African youth being able to find a passion. How possible it is for South African youth, or how hard it is for them to be able to identify their passions, considering that we have a sheep culture mentality that you spoke about.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'd have to let go of the sheep culture mentality, basically.
Yes, but how do we do that? How do people, because people are always going to gravitate to what they like.
I would say maybe first things first is to decrease social media.
Okay, yes.
Because it comes with a lot of influence in your life. It's been proven so many times the kind of damage that it can do to someone, especially when they are coming of age, to being young adults and all of that. So maybe that's the first thing, is try to reduce the amount of time that you spend on social media, because it actually distorts your identity.
Yes.
And you're not able to find yourself because you saw this person looking this way and you're trying to emulate them. And then after 2 years, you saw another guy looking this way and you tried to emulate them, but you haven't really invested in yourself. And
Yeah. So I think that would be one major way. Also, I think if there were more opportunities,
definitely.
It's like everyone is studying teaching.
Yeah.
Because there's.
Well, even now there's like no more jobs anymore.
Aside from like as of recently, but because we as if you do teaching, I went to 4 years, then you're gonna get
span guarantee.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do nursing, you're going to do, all of these service jobs. You knew it. People, you didn't even have to develop a passion for it. It's just like, okay, I'm in matric. I have enough points to go to university. What am I going to do? I need to make money, right?
Provide for the family.
I need to. So even that though, that's a passion to make money.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you're going to be good at your job because you're driven by, I don't want to get fired. I need this paycheck to keep coming in.
Yeah.
So I would say also opportunities.
Yeah.
Maybe people are going to Ukokota, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Because they see Guti, like every other week there's a new artist coming up.
Yeah.
You know? So they sing, we are seeing that Shusikona position la phela ikhona indawo yokuthi nami ngingangena.
But have a backup plan, man.
Of course.
Because the more people get into it, the more the competition.
Yes.
Then you have to really be good at it so that you can pop off. You really have to have a backup plan. I would say another thing maybe is how do I say this without like sounding like
a know-it-all?
Yeah, because I'm not a know-it-all at all. But I'd say source out information that's good for you.
Yes.
And that information has not, maybe shouldn't it doesn't always have to do with what you want to do about your career, about your passion. It just source out information about stuff, about shit. Like learn shit.
Yeah.
General information. Just try to find it, because I think that's where you can also explore yourself more. The more you find out about things, the more you are able to choose your position in the world and situate yourself in that position, and then be able to, to take off from there.
Yeah.
I really feel like, and I'm not saying that our youth is all bad, but truth be told, like, I feel like people don't seek information as much as they should.
Yeah. We're in the era of information on our fingertips, but people, we don't have the skill or the drive, to decipher what is it that I want to know. How is it that I go about it? It's like you have this information, or you have accessibility to all sorts of information that you could possibly have, but we're just not using we're not using our devices in a way that will uplift us.
Yeah, the right information is not on your social media. You're hardly going to find it. Social media, of course, it's information overload in a way. You take your phone and it's information one way, but usually that information is not good for you. So the information that you need is actually the one that you must seek. You must look for it and you must find it, because it's not going to be there in front of you. So
it's not going to be on your feed.
Exactly. Find information, guys. Just read about stuff.
Yeah.
General stuff.
Go on YouTube and just type news.
Yeah. Most people know about Ukraine and Russian war more than they know about the wars happening in Africa.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Ukraine war is on the feeds.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you're stuck down there in the southern tip of Africa. It has nothing to do. I mean, it has something to do with you, because it's going to affect you indirectly until it affects you directly when the petrol prices goes up and you're like, whoa. But if you don't even know that, if you don't know how did it get to that point, you're in trouble. You have to know how did it get to that point. No. Bad. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next thing.
Okay.
Is it possible for the youth to change the status of the country? If so, how?
You answer that one. You go first.
Is it possible for us to change the status of our country as it is right now? Whew. Man.
Is our country even our country? Like,
we've got South African IDs, at least that proves it. We're South Africans.
Yeah.
In that way. But that's an interesting question. Is it even our country? Well, let's not go to conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Not conspiracy theories. I'm just saying, because the question is, what can we do as the youth to change the status quo, right?
I think we can. I think we need to realize the situation that we are in first. So like how we've spoken about the sheep culture, the fact that people do not really know what's going on with them and what's going on in the world around them, what's going on in their community, what's going on in their economy. I think another thing, maybe let's distinguish. Feeling the effect of what's going on is different than knowing exactly what's going on. Because then when you know exactly what's going on, you definitely will feel that you have to do something about it. You know what I mean? So when the 1976 uprising happened, those kids or those students knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
The government was, it was segregation. the government was
Bantu learning.
not doing right by the black people. It was blatant. It was clear.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
And so they were able to take action about it. Not saying that you should always take it to the street. Not everything needs to be taken to the street.
Yeah.
But if you know exactly what is going on in your
Yeah.
country, you can do something about it. So it,
You,
again,
you,
it
you take a position.
goes back to find information. You know, follow things that are actually important. Clubs will always be there.
Yeah.
Bars will always be there. Shisanyamans will always be there. A popping song will always be there each and every week.
Yeah.
You know, but
So I guess maybe it would be safe to say, Wuti, there's no, or I'm feeling, or I'm thinking that there's no instruction. There's no like steps that the youth could take to change the status quo. But it begins with educating yourself.
yeah,
Because if I'm educating myself, I will and I'm conscious about it, I will gravitate maybe towards the issue of electricity.
yeah,
And you are educating yourself, maybe you'll gravitate towards the issue of land.
Yeah.
Right? So already, even though we're being progressive, we are not, it's not a sheep mentality. There's information that you are feeding yourself, and there's information that I'm feeding myself that could better like ourselves as individuals.
definitely. And obviously you would know that from the moves that I make, this is how it's going to affect me. This is how it's going to affect my family, my community, and my offspring in the future.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet, someone saying, young parents, which is our generation, please grow your kids well, because we don't want our kids to deal with rude, violent people anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is actually good to say that we are not looking at now.
Yeah.
Let's start looking at what needs to be in the near future. There's so much crime right now, obviously, in our country. You know, that's our moms that gave birth to those, to that generation that is, you know, very violent and and for many reasons, for broken families reasons, for parents are not there, parents are working all the time, a sense of being lost, not belonging, which creates anger and all of it. You know, it's but if you know what is important right now, if you know what's going on, then you know how to fix it.
Yes.
And it starts with you, and it starts in your house, and it starts in your family, and then it spreads in your community and the whole country.
Yeah. Like, pick up something, you know, like, take a position on something, you know, because there are too many issues, and there are too many things that we need to educate ourselves on anyway.
Yeah.
But if mina ngifocuse kulokhu, nosbo focuse kulokhu, nomunye focus, when we come together, we exchange that knowledge, and we exchange that information, and we better for it. Kunokuthi nje sazi into eyodwa, senze into eyodwa, silandelana ngento eyodwa, noma umuntu esebheda, you don't know. You can't reprimand each other because you are all thinking the same thing, you're all doing the same thing. I think that's not okay.
No, it's like there's a cloud. I don't know if it's a cloud or should I say mist, like over our eyes. For example, the memes.
We are best.
No.
We are the best.
No.
Yeah, but if we could make money off of memes,
man, we'll be rich.
Undefeated.
But the memes, like you find memes about South African politics, about the embarrassment events that South African politicians have find themselves in, or the things that they've said, and you see memes flying through the next day after whatever that happened, and you think to yourself, yeah, guys, it's not really time to be laughing at this situation right now. It's that whole mentality that it's not funny anymore.
Okay, so essentially the question is, or Nomasisi wrapping it up, this last question, what is it that the youth can do to change the status quo?
Yeah, no, that's not the wrap up. The wrap up is what is the sacrifice, if there is a sacrifice that a youth has to make in order to try and better themselves. If there is a sacrifice, and I guess what I'm trying to say about that is, what is it that you need to let go in order to find something that's productive, if there is any?
I think there are a number of things that we need to let go, and depending on what it is that is holding you back, right? So, because we can't say people must stay away from social media.
No, yeah, for sure.
The cat is already out of the box.
Yeah.
The ship has.
Is it out of the box or out of the bag?
Out of something.
Out of something, yeah.
The ship has left the shore. But I would say to adopt responsible behavior on social medias or using social media, I would say, like, but also, it's very difficult, Ngoba. There are people, there are groups of youth who have the same things, social media, everything, but who are not problematic.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because their character is a certain way.
Yeah.
So now it's difficult to tell someone osekhulile ukuthi
don't do this, don't do this,
don't do that.
No.
So I don't.
Well, there is a saying that you have to sacrifice the present for the future, and what it means is that try to see the things that are pulling you back, and see if you can sacrifice those things so that your future could be better. So social media is not one of them, of course. Like you said, what you can do with social media is you can adopt a responsible responsible what?
I don't know, habit, behavior.
Yeah, responsible behavior on how you use the social media, so that you don't spend much time there being hooked on things that don't really help you in any way.
Yeah.
But things like, how much money do you spend on your clothes? How much money do you spend on your drinks when you go out? How much time you spend with your friends? Just spending time
with your kids
for no reason, And how much time are you spending with your kids? So, but in this case, the sacrifice would be, because the sacrifice is essentially stop doing what you really want to do because it satisfies you in a way, but you decide, no, I'm not going to do this now. But in the future, you will benefit from that, because it doesn't help to sit with your friends 3-4 hours and talking nothing when you can sit with your friends 10 years later in a yacht somewhere.
You know what I'm saying?
That's sacrificing now for the future.
Yeah.
And sitting with your friends in the yacht is much more better than sitting with your friend on the street, my guy. Trust me. I want to have a yacht. Big dreams. But anyway, there's definitely some sacrifices that the youth has to make. Sacrifice your time to find information.
Yes.
So even social media, how you're going to be responsible about it is, when you use your phone, you're not going to be on social media more, but you're going to actually read boring things that are going to make you a better person. And relationships that do not matter.
Yeah, that don't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That don't benefit you. And focus on relationships that do benefit you. Because we have kids, man. Yeah, South African youth has kids.
Yeah.
Spend more time with your kids.
With your children.
Yeah, that's much more important.
Yeah.
And like I said, how much money are you spending on clothes? Man, the people that have already made
on alcohol.
Yeah.
Hey, umuntu won't have money to go to work.
Yeah.
But they will have money for alcohol.
Yeah.
They will go into debt for that.
Yeah. Before the month ends,
it's still booze. Like
Yeah.
if you're not drinking this week, or you decide, no, I'm not going to drink this month because I'm saving it, or I'm putting it away for this and this and this, the booze will still taste the same after you've completed what you want.
Definitely.
So, sacrifice.
And best way to do that is hit the gym. Try to exercise.
Take your mind off.
Not to get a six-pack or to get muscles. No. But once you start exercising, you know that consuming much alcohol will defeat the purpose. But you'll find exercising really enjoyable, and you'll feel something different about yourself. And you'll definitely cut down on alcohol. But you're not going to be able to cut down on alcohol if there's nothing else that you're going to replace it with.
You're bored, yes.
Yeah. So you have to find productive things that are not going to bore you. I mean, that are going to fill the space that you're going to start to enjoy, so that you don't get bored and fall into the trap of hitting the bar. Right? I think I've said a lot. Okay. Obviously, there's more to say about South African youth. We just hope that this is a conversation that, can still carry forward.
Yes.
And this is the inception of our podcasting journey. We'll be doing a lot more different topics. If you guys want to suggest anything that maybe you want us to talk about, we don't know everything.
Yes.
And we're not experts in most of the things. We just have opinions.
And we'd like to share them with you guys and to hear what you guys think as well, so that we can have a conversation, and also so that we can create this platform that we are talking about, that we come together and we share ideas and we learn from each other.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to sign out now. This is Rap SA. My name is Smo. Oh, yeah.
Comment.
Yes.
Like.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes.
What did the guy say?
What did the guy say?
Like,
subscribe.
Just like, subscribe, and
just subscribe and do what?
And shut up or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, please comment your thoughts, your opinions on the topic, and also what you'd like for us to talk about in the future. Please subscribe and hit the bell. I believe there's a bell.
There's a bell?
Hit. Yes.
All right, guys. So we are learning this thing. So forgive us. But do all of the necessary stuff that you have to do.
Yes, please.
So we can see that you are interacting, and maybe, the conversation can continue. All right. So we're signing out now.
Signing out.
This is Rap SA. I am Spo, and this is...